Good morning, traders. Welcome to this week's Elliottwave Forex and Cryptocurrency Market Analysis webinar. I hope you all had a wonderful week. The market has been trending. There's been a lot of trading opportunities. We will be looking at how the market has played out, what we forecasted, and what we expect of the next week. We will start with a recap of what happened last week. Then we're going to look at the market, the focus for this coming week. Before we get started, if you'd like to contact us, you can check out our contact details on our channel. Under the description of all our videos, you will find the links to our social media pages as well as our website. Our website is elliottwave-principle.com. You can just click on that and then it will take you to our website. So talking about the website and our services, we will be offering our next course on the 6th of September. It is a 10-day course. That course is immediately available when you make a purchase on the website. So that means you get to watch the full 10-day course recorded, and you can then watch the live one on the 6th of September. You can make inquiries about the early bird specials on the global chat here. You will get the quickest response if you use this communication method. That's where you'll get the fastest response there. Right, so that's about our services. So let's get started with the analysis for this week. As I've said, we'll start with the recaps from the last weeks. So let's start with CAD Chief. Let's have a look at CAD Chief. So CAD Chief is a setup that we looked at last week. This was our setup, and it was one of those blue box trade setups. So we forecasted that we were looking to buy CAD Chief here, and we were looking for this one to make a move to the upside. Now, if you look at CAD Chief and how it has played out, let's have a look at that now. So that was CAD Chief, and this is how it has played out eventually. So we forecasted that it was going to come make a reversal here. As you can see, let's make it a bit bigger. So that was our blue box area for a reversal. So this was a trade for all our traders in our group. So we've made a move to the upside here, right? So we are now looking for a move to the downside here on CAD Chief, which we'll update shortly. Right, so that's how CAD Chief has played out in the last week. Let's have a look here at Eurocad. So Eurocad was an interesting one. Let's make this one bigger here. I don't know why my Slack is behaving like this today. Right, so we're looking for this one to make a move to the downside, but what we've got here first is that we've made a move to the upside here. So we made a flat correction first before we got a move to the downside, and that is now this move here on CAD. Now the question is, are we going to get a bounce here on CAD? So let's have a look here on the next chart and how this has played out. So this is how it has eventually played out. So we've got that flat correction there. We've made a move to the downside. Now the question is whether we now get a move to the upside, which this is what we're going to update shortly when we start with our analysis. Right, that was Eurocad. Pound CAD was an interesting one. We're looking for this one to make a move to the downside and make a bounce back to the upside. So this one was taken live in our trading room during our live trading room. So we've got the move to the downside here. That was the forecast on CAD. Rather pound CAD. So let's have a look here at how pound CAD has played out. So this is where we were. We have already made this move to the downside on pound CAD. All right, so that's what we have there on pound CAD. Looking at Audi New Zealand, Audi New Zealand is only just starting the move to the down. It's only just made a small move to the downside after we've taken it from this corrective structure, looking for this to make more downside. We are still pretty much bearish on New Zealand. Going into the next week, as you will see with the analysis. Let's start with this week's analysis. We'll go through all the pairs, starting with the US dollar pairs. Now, it looks like the US dollar strength is over now, but we'll have a look at that. So let's have a look at the DXY. Right, so we've had this reversal on the DXY. I'm on the 1 hour chart now. Let's first go back to the 4 hours so we can remember what the structure is about, what we're looking at on the structure, on the DXY structure. So this is the DXY on the 4 hour. All of you will remember that we've been looking for these 3 waves on the DXY. And with those 3 waves, so we're looking for this one to make 1, 2, 3 here. 1, 2, 3, we already got that. We're looking for this one to make another 3 waves here on the DXY. So let's see here. So it looks like we've completed our move here at this level here with the DXY, and our 3 waves is this here. So that's what we have, and we are now starting a move to the downside. Okay, so could this move be over with this flat correction and this being a WXY? No, that's not a WXY corrective structure. I'm going to show you the structure just now. This is actually not 3 waves here. These are 5 waves, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, that is the case here. We've got then this one as an ABC corrective structure here, making a flat corrective structure here. So then if that is the end of the move here, now we are looking for this to start making a move to the downside. And that means that all this correction here on the DXY is done, and we're going to start looking for moves to the downside. So that's what we're going to start looking at now on the DXY. The euro is clear and the structure is complete. We're actually looking at this one here to be the wave 4 and a 5 here on the DXY, but this looks to have ended with a wave 5, diagonal wave 5. So we can accept that this has completed the move. So it looks like the dollar strength and the dollar rally is over now, and we're going to start seeing the dollar weakness. Now let's have a look at euro US dollar. Euro US dollar, similar structure, only that here we've got, we're looking at this one as a 3-wave structure. The bigger structure is 3 waves. Okay, so we can also look at this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This one as a leading diagonal here in wave A. Let's mark it here. So you can have a look at this one as a leading diagonal in wave A. Let me draw it properly. Now, if this is a leading diagonal in wave A, that means that this is a 5-wave move here. So I'll go to those 5 waves in the lower degree. Let's do that. That's 1, that's 2, that's 3, that's 4, that's 5. Now that you can count that as 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. Now, if you've got that, you've got this as a pullback in 3 waves, 1, 2, 3. Right now, we've got this one as 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. Now, if this 5 is complete, that means we are only going to start looking for upside now on the euro. And the bigger structure here, let's make it, let's use the yellow color here. The bigger structure on the euro will be A, B, C as well, just like the DXY will also be A, B, C. Now, we have made this, looks like a flat correction. This is actually a zigzag. It's a zigzag A, B, C corrective structure, and we're going to be looking for this one to start giving us moves to the upside. It will not be surprising if this wave 5 is not complete, that we just get one more down here before we get a move to the upside. But we are now looking bullish for the medium to long term here on euro US dollar, and then bearish on the DXY. Now look out for this one here. We've got some divergence on the RSI. Let's just show you the divergence on the RSI. Just want to show you the RSI divergence for this move. So as we're making lower lows here, RSI is making higher lows. So we are going to start looking for this. Okay, we're going to start looking for this structure here on the euro US dollar. Pound US dollar, let me show you the chart that we've got here on our side here and what we expect of pound US dollar. So this is a US dollar pairs. Let's have a look at it. Looking at pound US dollar on the 4-hour, this was our expectation. So if you look at the forecast here on pound US dollar, we're looking for this one to pull back to around 38 and make a move to the upside. We've already got that pullback and it is coming down correctively. Now we're expecting in the next coming sessions that pound pushes to the upside. So let's have a look at pound US dollar now. So pound US dollar on the 4-hour, as you've seen, we're looking for this pullback. So that pullback has already happened. Now we're starting to look for a move to the upside. This is pound US dollar, and we're now looking for any continuation pattern for more upside. Remember what we focused here on pound, not only this move, we focused the bigger structure when it was still playing out. We got that from the blue box here. If you watch previous videos, we've got that blue box set up from here. And now we've got a move to the upside here, and we're looking for this corrective structure now to make a push to the upside. Now look out for this setup for the next coming sessions for the next week. Right, so that is a pound US dollar chief. Let's have a look at US dollar chief. Now, US dollar chief on the 4-hour, we expected it to push a little bit higher than where it has reversed now. We expected this to make 1, 2, 3. We have reversed at this level now, so it doesn't make any difference. So let's have a look at the structure that we could potentially get here on US dollar chief. Now, seeing that the DXY is weak, okay, it will also not be surprising to see this one as a move back here, and we make one more up here before we start making a move to the downside, because then that is the structure that we're going to have here on chief. So let's see if we're going to get this structure here and move here like that. Okay, so for now on the US dollar chief, we are going to target this level here, and that level can come with this structure here. Okay, so let's take it one wave at a time. If we get the complete structure, it will be something like this. So that means we've got this one as a pulsing move. This is a move down here with a complex corrective structure here and a move to the downside, which will give us a bigger ABC corrective structure when we get here. But we're not going to worry about this now. We're going to take it one wave at a time, and the immediate wave here is a move to the downside. We're going to look for a pullback and continuation to the downside. So let's keep an eye on this one. Should be bearish here, looking at the US dollar weakness in the next coming sessions. US dollar CAD, let's have a look at US dollar CAD. Now, US dollar CAD as well. Let's have a look at this one on the side. So this is what we have on US dollar CAD. We are looking for this one to give us 1, 2, 3, and a move to the downside. We already got all those moves. We already have this one to the upside and this one coming to the downside. Okay, so this is what we have here, and we're going to be looking for this one to continue to the downside. Let's go to the actual chart right now. So this could be a nice trade for the nice coming session to get a setup from here and a move to the downside like this, right? So that's what we're going to look at for the next week. All right, so that's what we have on US dollar CAD. Very interesting structure, very clear one to take it back to this level. Okay. That's what we have on US dollar CAD. Let's have a look at Audi US dollar. Right, Audi US dollar, we have been looking for this to bounce from the blue box for a while here. And that blue box had been invalidated at the time. But let's have a look here. Can this still be a three-wave structure? We've got 3 waves down, 3 waves up, and looking at this one to be another 3 waves. So looking at the US dollar weakness that is about to start, this can give us a structure like this, just one more move here, and then we start getting a pullback here. Even if it's a 3-wave move, that will take us back to the 50% of this whole move. That's what we're going to be looking at here. So let's watch Audi US dollar for a reversal at current levels in the next coming sessions to give us a structure like this. Right, so that's what we have here on US dollar, Audi US dollar, New Zealand. New Zealand US dollar also on the daily. We've got 1, 2, 3 here. Looks like the 3 waves have completed here on the New Zealand as follows. I'm going to go to the lower time frame here as well. So if we've got that, that means we are starting the move to the upside, just like what we have on Euro US dollar. So we'll look for a corrective structure and an entry for more upside here, because we've got here an this is an ABC corrective structure here, looking for more upside on New Zealand. Let's have a look at the lower time frame here on the 4-hour. Right, the 4-hour, we've ended the move here. Looks like the move to the upside that I was showing you on the daily has ended right here. 1, 2, 3. That is the end of the move. So that is a clear 3-wave structure, and we are starting to make a move to the upside. Any continuation pattern here, we'll be looking for a setup for more upside here on the New Zealand. Right, so US dollar ZAR, this one tracks the US dollar, is correlated to US dollar CAD. So let's have a look at this here. We should expect a pullback here on the ZAR. We can even retest this level here to make this 3-wave structure here. But what we're looking for, if you remember the bigger structure here on US dollar ZAR, is the structure here on the daily. We are looking for this to make a continuation to the upside. So this is actually a 3 waves down, 3 waves up, 3 waves down, 3 waves up, and 3 waves down here, WXYXZ. So we've got an impulsive move to the upside. So we will be looking for a corrective structure here to get continuation pattern to around those levels. So we'll be looking for this to get around those levels on US dollar ZAR. So, but we look for this corrective structure around this area. Pound yen. Let's have a look here on pound yen. Pound yen, since we've made a bounce from the blue box a couple of weeks ago, so this is what we had here on pound yen. We were looking for this one to make a continuation to the upside. That continuation is not coming as yet, and it looks like we are still going to get a corrective structure. We've got a pulsing move here. We've got what looks like a corrective structure, so we're going to expect pound yen to drop slightly lower in the next coming session as well. So if it's going to make a move like this, we're going to have to come back down first. Let's look at this on the 4-hour. So if you look at the 4-hour, this is the expectation. So we've already got the pulsing move from the blue box. Now we're looking for this one to make a 3-wave structure, expecting it to get to around these levels if we're going to have any bounce to the upside. That is pound yen, US dollar yen. Now, US dollar yen structure changed slightly. We were looking for this to be all the three waves. This is what we looked for in last week. We're looking for this to have been all the three waves and for this to continue to the upside. But as you can see, this is actually making a double correction. This is actually making a bigger corrective structure. So that means we've had 1, 2, 3 to the downside. 1, 2, 3. This is 1, 2, 3, and we're looking for this to make another three waves to the downside. So a pullback at current levels and a continuation to the downside will give us a WXY corrective structure on US dollar yen. Euro yen, right? So euro yen should be sideways, but we'll look for this one to continue to the downside there. So we may get a bounce here and a move to the downside and a bounce here like that. This may not all happen in this coming week or in the coming session, but we'll look for this to continue to the downside. So we should see this around here. So we've got this one as a WXY corrective structure. This will be a very nice area to get a trade set up for continuation to the downside. At this stage, we are still within the corrective structure. It is still building. And if you look at the lower degree here, we've got this one as the X wave is like this in purple. So it's an ABC corrective structure in purple. 1, 2, 3 here. So we can look at this as the ABC's corrective structure here. Okay, so that's ABC in the X degree. We look for a bounce and continuation to the downside. So we mostly bearish on euro yen. Right, chief yen continues lower. We've made that impulsive move and we have been in this corrective structure since June. This is how this has been playing out with a clear textbook ABC corrective structure here. Now we're looking for this one to continue to the downside with this impulsive move. We've made a pullback here, but that's all that it is. It is a pullback and we'll look for this one to continue to the downside. So what we'll be looking for here is for this to continue lower as follows. Right, so that is CAD yen. We also expected, this is now CAD yen. This is three waves that we expected that has bounced from the blue box. So it has gone up in three waves. So that does not look like it's going to make any impulse. So we've gone up here. So we are going to expect this to at least give us a three-wave pullback. Okay, not that low. So a three-wave pullback. Let's see what we're going to get here on CAD yen. So bearish for the next coming session. Trading session, that is. New Zealand, also from the bounce that we forecasted at this level, it has gone up in three waves instead of any impulse. So we are looking at this now as a three-wave structure. So we should see a bit of a pullback and continuation to the downside. This is a three-wave structure. So we may be getting a double here on the New Zealand WX and looking for this one to make a Y all the way down here. I'm out of space, guys. So we'll look for this one to be bearish. That is New Zealand yen. Audi yen. Audi yen, similarly, Audi yen did not quite make the three-wave structure here like that, but what we're seeing here is that we've got an impulse. We're just making a complex structure here with 1, 2, 3 down, 1, 2, 3 up. Expect this to come down impulsively. So Audi yen, we're expecting it to come down impulsively. Then we're going to have a structure like this. If we get a pullback like this, then we're going to see Audi yen bearish for the medium to long term. All right, so that is Audi. Gold. Let's have a look at gold. Okay, let me see here if I still have the structure that we focused on gold. Let's have a look here, commodities. Yes, that is the structure that we've got on gold on the 4-hour. So on gold, we forecasted that we're going to get after the reversal here. So if you remember, initially we wanted gold to do this and then drop, but we only got this as a B, the B wave here. So we were looking for this B wave to come here, but this is all we got here. So when it made a move here, that's when we saw that that move has actually ended. This corrective structure has ended. Then we are expecting this one to come down, flash to the bottom here and make a move to the upside. Now we've already got the move from here coming down here and looking for more upside. So that's what we have here on gold. Let's just have a look at how this has played out. So if you look at that, so the forecast was for this to flash from there and make a move to the upside, and we already got those moves. So we are looking for gold to push much higher than what we have. Now the bigger structure on gold, what we're going to have here is this. So this is the reason why we focused on that structure. We had an impulse there. So we had this move here, as I was indicating the last couple of weeks, we were forecasting that we're going to get this one to make one more down before we get that downside. Okay, but this downside came before we got that move to the upside. So that's when we adjusted here. This one we adjusted here, this one being the B, making a move to the downside, and our forecast was that we're going to get this to come down and a move to the upside. Where do we expect this to go? We're expecting this to go retest even the 1900s to make this bigger flat correction here on gold. So we are bullish gold up until 1900. We already got those moves, right? So that is gold. Silver also did the same thing. Let's have a look here at the silver chart on the 4-hour. Right, silver, we also expected this to flash down here and make a move to the upside. So let's have a look at how that has played out as well. So if you look at silver, so we also got the same thing here. So that was the corrective structure here. Move to the downside and then push to the upside. So this is what we're looking at on silver. We're looking for more upside, obviously correlated with gold. Let's also have a look at platinum. The commodities. So if you look at platinum, let's look at this in the 4-hour. So the forecast on platinum, we're looking for this to be a WXYXZ, an 11 swing sequence. So when we're here, we're expecting platinum to flash down to 1920 and push to the upside. And all those moves have played out on platinum. So we've got that move from here. We flashed down to about 920. We did not quite get there, but we are now here. Now we expect this to continue to the upside, at least back to around those levels on platinum. All right, so that's what we have. A Brent crude oil. Now let's have a look at Brent crude oil. So Brent crude oil, just looking at the current structure, it will not make sense for Brent crude oil to just push to the upside like that. So the structure that we're going to expect on Brent crude is that we've got 3 waves here. We've got 3 waves here. You cannot really see it in this degree. So we're expecting this to make another 3 waves here and a move to the upside. So just be mindful here that you've got the 3 waves here if you look at that on the 4-hour. So we currently here will expect oil to make one more move to the downside before we push up higher. And that will be the corrective structure on oil. Let's go through the pound pairs. You've seen the forecast here in the beginning during trade recaps on pound CAD, expecting this one to drop from here. This was a setup in the week. We took this one live in the trading room. So we've made a move to the downside here. These are 3 waves. Now we're expecting pound CAD to start pushing to the upside. Now a continuation pattern here, we should see pound CAD make a move to the upside. Now watch out for this for more upside here on pound CAD. Okay, so that's what we have there. Pound Audi. Pound Audi is still making this 3-wave corrective structure here. We're still looking for this to push a little bit lower here, but Pound Audi is still pretty much bullish. When this is done, we should still see more upside. That is Pound Audi. Pound New Zealand. Pound New Zealand, so this is what we're looking at here. Also a bit of a push lower. A bit of a push lower here, and we're going to look for more upside. Let's just look at bigger structure here. Looks like we're getting an expanding flat here on Pound New Zealand. We've got that. So far it's a running flat, but if we flash down here, that's going to be an expanding flat, but we're looking for continuation to the upside. Either way, we'll start looking for entries for more upside here to look at this structure. Pound Audi is looking strong, so Pound New Zealand should follow suit as well. All right, if you look at Pound Chief, we discussed this one during our trade recaps. We're looking for this one to continue pushing to the upside. All right, so we've made a move up in 3 waves. We're looking for this one to continue to the downside. We should see more downside here on Pound Chief. So that's what we have here. So you could even look at this structure. This one being 3 waves up here, 3 waves down here, and this one being 3 waves. So that means the bigger structure there is a running flat, and we're now going to start looking for more downside here on Pound Chief. So look for entries here for more downside. Right, so that is Pound Chief, Euro Pound. Now, Euro Pound, we expected Euro Pound to bounce at these levels. This is the structure that we've been looking at. 3 waves down, 3 waves up, and 3 waves down. We've got all of that. So this was an impulse, 3 waves, Now we're looking for this one to go and retest at 86.50. So let's see what we're gonna get here. So this is not confirmed upside yet. What we still need to see here is a setup here and a confirmation by the indicator that we're gonna get a move to the upside. So far, this is an A, B, and we'll be looking for this to give us a C. Then we're gonna look for this to go lower again. That is a Euro Pound, Euro New Zealand should follow New Zealand. Even if we can get one more down here. So we are making this structure here on Euro New Zealand, 1, 2, 3. Is it done? I'm going to see more upside here. Let's see here with the setup that we're going to get. So far, we can even look at this structure as 3 waves to the upside. That means those 3 waves are W, pulling back with an X, and we're going to look for a Y here in 3 waves as well. Okay, so let's watch this first for a confirmation. That is Euro New Zealand, Euro Audi. So Euro Audi has pulled back in 3. It will not be surprising to see this one being bullish in the next coming session. So looking for this one to make a continuation to the upside here. And if you look at this here, this is a flat correction here. Regular flat, and now we're looking for this one to continue making a move to the upside. That is a Euro Audi, Eurocad. So Eurocad, you've already seen this during trade recaps. We expected this one to come down and make a flat here. We've come down here and now we're looking for upside. So look for upside here on Eurocad. Eurochief. So Eurochief has pulled back. I keep saying that even if you see Eurocad, even if it does this and continues to push to the upside, we will look to sell this because we are long-term bearish on Eurochief. So that's why what you see here is a move to the upside here, and we are looking for this one to make a move back here in the 3 waves at least. So that's what we're going to be looking at there on Eurochief. Right, so that's Eurochief bearish long term. Let's go to the crosses. Audi New Zealand. Audi New Zealand, you've seen this one during trade recaps. We had another setup from here with this pullback here. We're still looking for this one to continue lower. It is slowing down currently, so we may get a deeper corrective structure, but we're still going to sell this to the downside. This will still continue to the downside. Audi CAD. Okay, so Audi CAD, we're starting to see some strength in the rather weakness in the CAD. So that's why you see the pairs that are paired with the CAD, and where the CAD is the quoted currency, we are starting to see upside. So this looks like a 3-wave pullback, and we're going to start looking for more upside here on Audi CAD. Right, so let's see here if this can give us a structure like this. We may get one more down first before we push to the upside, and that will make this corrective structure here as follows. Right, so that is Audi CAD, Audi Chief. Audi Chief still bearish. Let's look at the bigger structure here on the daily, so you can see why we are selling this. So on the daily, we've got this pullback here. Let's have a look here at the bigger corrective structure and just show you this on the side. Audi Chief, cross pairs, Audi Chief, 4 hour. Right, so that's the structure here on Audi Chief. So this is what you're seeing there. That corrective structure has continued up here, and we are now starting to drop like that. So we're looking for this to get up back at about 65. So the structure here is 1, 2, 3, pullback, and another 1, 2, 3. So a WXY. Let me just show you here in the higher degree. It will be a W. So it's actually 11 swing sequence. My apologies. So 11 swing sequence as follows. WXYXZ. So 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3 all round. 11 swing sequence with WXYXZ here. Looking for this to reverse around those areas. So we are now starting to push to the downside with this move. That is Audi Chief. New Zealand CAD. New Zealand CAD, so we'll be looking for this one to make a move here like this, but eventually this should still continue to the downside. So that's what we're looking at on New Zealand CAD. Right chart, that's New Zealand CAD, the New Zealand Chief. expect this to continue to the downside. Most of the pairs that have got the chief as the code currency, look for them to continue to the downside. So the chief looks bullish in the short term. So we'll look for this one to make one more down. Cat chief, similarly, also this has made a three-wave structure here, 1, 2, 3. So we'll expect this one to at least make one more move to the downside before any push to the upside. Right, so that's what we have. As you can see, all the currencies that have got the chief in them are bearish. That is the chief as the quoted currency. Let's have a look at the indices, the S&P 500. Let's have a look at all of these on the side. So this is just a parabolic move to the upside. So no new analysis. We've been saying every time you get a continuation pattern to the upside, you take it. So let's have a look at all these charts here that we've got here in the 1 hour. I'm going to look at all the 1 hour charts on the indices. S&P 500 1 hour. So since we've got that pullback here in wave 3, that was last week, we've got this move and we're still expecting this to push to the upside, even up as far as 4,500 on the S&P 500. Okay, so we are currently in the wave 3 here in this degree. So we are currently in this wave 3. So bullish on S&P 500. The Nasdaq will be similar. We have been looking for a continuation to the upside. We've made this pullback in 3. We've made this continuation pattern here in the, let's just have a look here. So this is the wave 4 here in the green degrees, starting from where this wave 2 in yellow started. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're currently in the 5th wave. The 5th wave here is this, and we're looking for this to continue to the upside on the Nasdaq. So we are still bullish on the Nasdaq as well. Okay, so let's have a look here. This is the Nasdaq. So this is the Nasdaq on the 1 hour. So even if we're expecting this one to make a move to the upside. So there's a possibility that we can actually get this and make a move to the downside and give us this structure. So this is where we still are, and that is still the expectation on the Nasdaq. Right, so the UK 100. Nothing new on the UK 100 since we've got this corrective structure a couple of weeks back. 1, 2, 3. We have now been in this bullish move, and this is still a continuation pattern for more upside. So we're still looking for this to continue to the upside, even in these coming sessions. The DAX. So look here, the DAX, since we've got the setup here on this correction, we have been on a bullish move as well. Doesn't look like the correction is going to set anytime soon. We're still going to look for the DAX to continue pushing up higher. All these 1 hour corrections are opportunities to take the indices higher. All of them, all around, are looking for more upside. Okay, so the Nikkei, if you remember the Nikkei, just remind me the structure on the Nikkei. It's the only one that we still want one more down before we push to the upside. So we just want the Nikkei to give us 1, 2, 3 here. We've already got the 3 waves. So we just want one more down to complete the structure and then upside. The one more down that we're looking at on the Nikkei is coming after this corrective structure, 1, 2, 3. Now we're looking for this to just complete that one more down before we push to the upside. We should see a big move on the Nikkei in the next couple of days. And that's all on the indices. If you want to stay on for them cryptocurrencies, you can stay on. We'll be doing the cryptocurrencies in about 3 to 5 minutes, or you can just check on our channel for the cryptocurrency video weekly outlook. Thank you very much for watching. Have a great weekend. I will see you again next week. Cheers, everybody. Bye-bye.